For today's episode of Flippin' Friday, we're back with another complete blueprint that I'm going to be using to make some money on a next restock build for our website, and you can literally copy this blueprint for yourself to make some more money as well. The last time we did an episode like this was when we launched the Deathstrike gaming PC on our website a few months ago, so I wanted to share some data for you on that as well. This is going to be a good one. Instead of targeting a total build price like we normally do for flips, today we're targeting a total sale price for the website, which I want to be $799, basically an $800 gaming PC. Now, our website prices have been fluctuating a bit as we are still experimenting with some things, but right now we currently have a $950 PC, an $1,100 PC, and then a $1,500 PC. There's two gaps that I want to address next, and that's getting something cheaper than $950, and then I also want to get somewhere in the $1,250 range later on down the line. For an $800 pre-built gaming PC, the Intel i3-12100F is the best CPU option available right now in my opinion, and that's because both the CPU and budget motherboard options are cheaper than a Ryzen 5 5600 setup. I'm also using the Ryzen 5 5600 in two of my builds already, and I never want to put all of my eggs into one basket in case if a part goes out of stock or they slow down the production of it. The motherboard we're plugging that 4-core and 8-threaded CPU into is the MSI Pro H610M-G, and this is literally the cheapest compatible motherboard that I can find available, which is honestly perfect for a build like this. Now, if you're building a personal gaming PC, I'd highly recommend at least a B660 motherboard with 4 RAM slots so you have some room to upgrade both the CPU and RAM later on down the line, but for a pre-built that I need to make higher profit margins on, this will have to do for now. And speaking of higher profits, if you're just a single person business trying to flip a few gaming PCs every week, then you should be able to afford a higher quality motherboard like this for your customers and still make some decent profit. But for someone like me that has multiple employees, office space, and all that extra overhead, it's more important for me that I hit those higher profit margins. It's just a trade-off that I have to make in a situation like this. And real quickly before we move on, if you're trying to keep those profit margins high, then today's video sponsor can definitely help you out with that. Today's video is sponsored by GVG Mall, and you probably already know that I've been using them for so long to activate Windows on a ton of my own builds. They're actually running a huge sale right now, which boosts my normal 18% discount up to 25% off if you use code ZTT18, and I'll have that linked at the top of the description. They not only have Windows keys, but also a ton of other stuff such as Office and even game keys for platforms like Steam, Origin, and Uplay, and they even have console stuff too like PSN and Xbox prepaid cards as well. Activating Windows is super simple and only takes like 3 minutes total, so activate Windows today and remove that nasty watermark, and don't forget to use ZTT18 for 25% off. Next up we have the RAM, and here we're using the Glowway 2x8GB 3200MHz white kit that I just picked up for $39 brand new on Amazon. This model will change over time depending on the current pricing, but for this restock build, I'll be using whichever 2x8GB 3200MHz or higher RAM kit that's all white like this and has the best price. Sometimes we'll go with the XPG kit and sometimes this one. It's a decision that gets made on a build by build basis until we can bulk order one specific model. After that we have the SSD, and this has the exact same concept. I'm going to be literally buying whatever is the cheapest 500GB NVMe drive that's available for the best price, and as of right now it's the Patriot P310, which I bought for 29 bucks. These 500GB drives are often sneaking down to 26 or 27 bucks, so whenever you find that kind of pricing, I would buy a few of them so you have them at the better pricing. And finally, to polish off the motherboard prep, we have the CPU cooler, and the one downfall of the 12100F is that you'll usually want a separate cooler and not the one it comes with, and I'm going with the Thermalright Assassin X 120 SE ARGB, and this is a beast in terms of performance and aesthetics for only 22 bucks. Keep in mind, if you could build a PC around the black and light blue color scheme of the stock cooler, that would allow you to save some extra money, but I've decided that I want to continue offering all white or white and black builds on my website, so that's why I'm going down this route. And before we get into the power supply prep, I want to quickly share with you the numbers that we're seeing for the last time we did a blueprint build like this, because I have some good website data that I think a lot of you flippers would be interested in. Now, whenever I uploaded that video 3 months ago, I showed you that the total cost of the build was around $775, and I was planning on selling it for $999, but we have increased our price to $1,099 ever since. I've actually increased the price of all of our restock builds at some point, and that's honestly just to kind of decrease demand a little cut. Decreased demand a little bit. We were getting a ton of sales at the lower prices, and I only have one other employee, Sam, who's been helping me with these restocked builds. We just couldn't really handle that kind of demand, so we increased the prices, and they've been still selling pretty well. But yeah, sometimes you're just gonna have to do that. For this Deathstrike build though, this is actually by far our lowest selling build, and we've only sold 8 of them so far, but I honestly think it's mainly because it's an all black PC, which opens us up to some more competition. Literally every pre-built manufacturer or system integration company is constantly selling black PCs with RGBs, and those bigger companies are getting far better deals than we are on parts, and they can indeed beat us on pricing. Where I'm seeing my niche lately is with the all white PCs and actually implementing the aesthetics over everything mindset. That's why even this $800 build still has some of the budget allocated towards aesthetics, because like I've always said, aesthetics does help you sell in the world of PC flipping. But yeah, for the Deathstrike, we are seeing the total build cost creep down to around $750, and then we've been selling them at about $1,100, and that results in about a $350 profit on just the parts.
I like money.
However, that $350 profit does not include a few hours of Sam's time, credit card and transaction fees, as well as shipping supplies. So realistically, we're making about $250 profit on every Deathstrike sale. Overall, we've made anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 profit on the Deathstrike, which is still pretty solid. But again, that's been by far our lowest selling build, and we've sold over 30 Frost Novas already, just for a comparison. Getting back to today's build though, here we have the power supply, and once again, the Thermaltake Smart BM2 550 watt makes an appearance yet again. I'm also plugging in some easy DIY cable extensions, and that's because I think the extra 20 bucks helps sell the build faster and more often, which ends up being ROI positive. After that, we can start putting the parts in the case, and here I'm mixing things up a bit with the Deepcool CH370 white, and I'm honestly not sure how long this case will last in a restocked build. As you can see, we're literally using the Fractal Design Pop Air Mini in every single build, and I hate putting all of my eggs in one basket like I said earlier, so this is my attempt to mix things up a bit. The CH370 white, from what I've been seeing, is usually readily available for 60 bucks on places like Newegg, but at the time of filming, the white version is literally out of stock right now, so I'm freaking out a little bit. It's really hard to find budget cases that are reliably available every single day of the week, so if you have any budget white case suggestions, I'd love to hear about them down in the comment section. The other downfall of a case like this is that it only comes with one pre-installed fan, but I was planning on just adding one 120mm or 140mm fan in the front every time to keep costs down. We literally always have leftover black fans here in the studio from previous projects, so it's not a huge deal. And then after everything gets installed in here, some shoddy cable management and everything, it's time to install the GPU, and the one we're going with for our $800 restock build is simply just the RX 6500 XT. Now, some of the unaware might just automatically think this isn't a great card, but when you pair it properly with a PCIe Gen 4 compatible CPU and motherboard combo like we have, you're actually gonna get some solid 1080p gaming performance out of it. We'll see that soon in the benchmarking section, but for the GPU choice, I'm also gonna be targeting only aesthetically pleasing designs such as this MSI Mech model. This may not always be the cheapest option available, but again, with the aesthetics over everything mindset, I think it's important. I'm not gonna be able to use some of the uglier or not white or black models such as the Gigabyte Eagle or Sapphire Pulse. I'll be sticking to the MSI Mech or maybe the Power Color Fighter, depending on pricing. I paid $159 for mine, and for a restock build like this, I definitely don't want to pay anything over around $170. But now that the PC is fully built and ready to rock and roll, here's what the benchmarks are looking like, and here's your proof that a super budget combo like the 12100F and 6500 XT can still shed some 1080p gaming. As you can see, we are getting some very solid FPS numbers here, and for people that are looking to jump into PC gaming on a budget with a fully brand new and fully assembled system, a build like this would be an excellent starting point for them. And then finally, here's what the full parts list and selling price is looking like. Just like with the Deathstrike, some of this could fluctuate over time, but you will start to see this PC available as of today on our website if any of you are interested. I'm not entirely sure how long this case option will last, like I said, so keep your eyes peeled for any updates about a possible version 2 of this $800 build. Hopefully you enjoyed this unique episode of Flippin' Friday. Make sure you click the playlist that's on the screen now to get fully caught up on all the other Flippin' Friday episodes where we're making some money, and I'll see you guys in the next video.